Ready for top 10 basketball here in Boulder. USC lost by 20 to Utah. They're now going to be tested by the Colorado Buffaloes, who lost to UCLA at home on Friday. Let's take a look at the starting lineups and how they shake out here on this Sunday afternoon. For USC, Mackenzie Forbes, Rhea Marshall, she's going to need to get going, coming off 0 points. She averages a double-double in the season. Taylor Bigby, Juju Watkins, of course, their star player in the country, and Kayla Padilla. For the Buffaloes, they are led by their fiery point guard, Jalen Sherrod. She's now 4th all-time in starts with her 117th start today. Erinette Vonleh, Quay Miller, Frida Foreman, and Maddie Nolan. 4 of those 5 average in double figures. Well, of course, these teams know each other very well. Being in the Pac-12, playing each other, know how good each basketball program is. And for the Buffaloes, I think a chance to respond. Let's get to the keys to the game today, Charlie.
Yeah, talk to both coaches. I mean, really, with JR, minus 17 on the boards, they need to defensive rebound better. And they need to they always take care of the ball. They didn't the last game. They've got to be more disciplined. For SC, they got to try to slow down Sherrod and company. So transition defense. And for a team that also usually takes care of the ball, they were uncharacteristic against Utah. Both these teams, very aggressive defensively. Taking care of the ball, important.
Absolutely. There's J.R. Payne in her 8th season here at the helm in Colorado. She's so excited about this team, so excited about the community that's supporting her team. Again, 11,338 came out. The first sellout in quite some time in women's basketball. And USC in her 3rd season, her 14th overall as a head coach, Lindsay Gottlieb. She has her team rolling at 13-2, coming off a 20-win season last year. Lots to prove in the Pac-12, ranked 6th so far this year. Love these matchups because you're sitting here in January and we might get a preview of what's to come for the conference tournament, for seeding. I mean, the Pac-12 has had the best year in women's basketball here in its final year as the Pac-12. The Trojans lead the series all-time 16-11. They've only won one meeting last season, though. 29th meeting all-time, and we are all set to tip in Boulder. It's going to belong to the visitors in USC as Kayla Padilla brings it up for the Trojans. The ball early to Juju Watkins, and she'll work her magic. Jalen Sherrod playing tight defense. She grabs just that inch of space you talked about, Coach, and there she is with 2.
Yeah, Juju, I mean, I didn't know if they were going to trap off the ball screens. SC's going to do a lot of ball screen offense. That was just Sherrod getting through.
The Buffs turn to answer. And Sherrod will stop and pop off a pass, but
she's got a killer jumper herself, so.
Absolutely.
Not a bad shot.
Padilla at the point, getting close to 1,500 career points. 28 away from that. Watkins takes Sherrod to her left, up to the free throw line, and misses a bucket. Any miss from Watkins has to feel like a sigh of relief from the other team, but the Buffs turn it over.
Great transition defense by Taylor Bigby.
Someone else shooting for the Trojans as Mackenzie Forbes gets involved, but transition, Buffs will slow it down. Inside to Quay Miller, and she finds a nice little layup off the board.
It's always good when they can get Quay going early.
Quay's coming off 10.6 rebounds. Had multiple double-doubles this season. I agree. An aggressive Quay Miller is good news for the Buffs. There's Vonleh playing aggressive defense. Padilla for 3 and nowhere near the rim. Maddie Nolan feeds inside to Vonleh, out to Quay Miller.
Had single coverage and kicked it out. Surprising.
Vonleh, she turns and shoots. Over there, so an aggressive Jalen Sherrod left Rhea Marshall on the ground.
Limping a little bit. Hopefully she's okay.
Marshall, no points in their game Friday night against Utah. She is coming off an illness, though, so a little bit slower to get in rhythm. You kind of see she slowed down the court, too. That could be something to watch. Vonleh inside to Quay Miller just to bring it down. Vonleh popping a three. Nowhere near the rim. Vonleh doesn't take many of those, but she got a little confidence the other day when she hit one against Stanford.
Right here, Vonleh, beautiful high-low pass. Saw the defense was on the high side. Great finish by Quay Miller. I don't think CU coaching staff is real happy with Vonleh's shot selection right now. I mean, really, who does SC have to guard someone like her in the block? Well, now they have Akinwafo in.
Yeah. That's a big difference.
Yeah, it is a big difference.
Yeah, Clarice Akinwafo checking in for the Trojans. Her presence just by height alone is felt. And another missed shot. So trading missed buckets. We'll see who can capitalize. All tied up at 2, just about 3 minutes into the first quarter here. There's Vonleh, as you mentioned.
And right now, SC, fantastic job getting back in transition defense. They were working on it yesterday in practice, which they were getting after it for a day in between a game.
Miller faked a shot and then tried to hand it off to Maddie. Nolan gets kicked out of bounds. And a sub coming in. So early big presence for Charlotte Whitaker, and Vonleh checking out. Whitaker dribbles it to the top of the key inside to Quay Miller.
Running their chin action.
Double team and wide open. Quay Miller gets a look and a roll.
Quay Miller has had some really huge games for CU over the years, and they're so balanced this year. She hasn't really scored as well or as much, but this would be a good game for her to have a career high.
Mackenzie Forbes looks to go off the screen. She does there towards the baseline. Maddie Nolan straight up on her. She works in, and there comes Jalen Sherrod trying to strip the ball. Heads out of bounds.
So right here, just beautiful pass. Drew 2 up top, and Quay Miller just, you can't leave her that wide open.
SC's points belong to Miller. Sherrod got picked off on defense and up and underneath.
Juju read that mismatch all the way. Great finish using the rim to protect.
So right now, it's the Quay Miller Juju Watkins show.
It is.
See if anyone else can snag a bucket. Frida for 3. Foreman missing short. Charlotte Whitaker muscling down there with Akinwafo. They both end up on the ground.
I love it.
Love it.
I love it when the big girls bang. Juju gets by just about anybody, but definitely reads the mismatch there, and great finish. Charlotte Whitaker really in foul trouble on Friday, so great job just not compounding that with a cheap foul. Good discipline there.
I like to the refs today, letting them play so far. 5:30 to go here in the first quarter. Juju Watkins with Charlotte Whitaker on her. She'll use the pick, they'll switch. And Kendall Wetta, who came off the bench, trying to contest the shot, but can't do it. Taylor Bigby for 3.
Yeah, you do not want to pinch off the strong side, especially with Taylor Bigby in the corner. Elite three-point shooter.
Tamia Sadler also in the game for the Buffs. And she'll stop and pop. Out of bounds. Bigby getting going from the outside could help USC's offense early.
And, really, this is just where Juju is, she's drawing 3. Does a great job getting the ball out of her hands, finding her teammate.
23rd made three-pointer for Taylor Bigby. That's more than she had all last year. She had 22 in total. Watkins on Sadler. She finds space, and she makes it count.
I don't know how much space that was. Wetta came over and contested. She's just so hard to guard.
6 points for Watkins. The ball tripped up, and there's going to be a foul as Akinwafo pushed Whitaker. So Akinwafo picks up her first. And for the Trojans, they got the scoring going on early, up 9-4. USC went on a 7-0 run over the last minute 30. They're up 9-4 over Colorado. 4:33 to go here in the first quarter. Let's take a look at the net rankings, and you see it, the Pac-12 well represented in the top 100. Narrow that down to the top 25, and you're talking about 7 teams from the Pac-12 conference. It all begins at number 3, Stanford, 6 for Utah, 7 for UCLA, and the teams on the court right now: USC 14, Colorado 17. So again, you're beating up on each other, but you're getting like net top 25 wins or losses.
I was about to interject there, exactly. I mean, they because there's so many teams that have such high nets, they're just going to help each other by playing each other.
Absolutely.
Even if they lose, to be honest.
Quay Miller out of the timeout, goes strong to the bucket, and I think that's probably the message that CU had, and Coach, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's attack the basket. Get after it. Better shot selection, because that's a team that was shooting just 28% there at that media timeout.
Yes, points in the paint. That is Colorado's game. And also get the ball to Quay, because she's hot.
Feed the hot hand, exactly. She has all the points for the Buffs so far. They trail by 3. Stopped USC's run, but they've been really good on offense, taking great shots the last couple trips down. 3 of their last 3 for field goals. Padilla up top. Davis passes it to Juju. One dribble, and she'll fire off a shot that's made.
I mean, that was good defense. It's just better offense.
So now the Buffs in their set offense. What if a bounce pass to Whitaker? They'll find an open Maddie Nolan for 3. And a Watkins rebound.
Be huge for Nolan to get going for Colorado. She really didn't on Friday night.
It's been interesting since she got moved into the starting lineup, and they have Sadler coming off the bench. You really are looking for that 3-point shot to evolve a little bit for Nolan.
So right here, I just think you cannot give her the space. Your hands are down. She's already queued up the shot. You got to be hands up high on the catch. Beautiful jumper by Juju Watkins. Again.
Yeah, again. Just re-rack comments. Again. First turnover of the day for USC. Yeah, that was a good idea, but gets kicked around, and now the Buffs turn it over. Watkins all the way in. No good, and no whistle. Sadler picking it up, and here come the Buffs in transition. She'll dribble out, and Quay thought about that 3. Maddie Nolan feeds inside to Whitaker, and Sadler again just drives, gets the scoop, and the crowd will go nuts for that.
That's what you call a shot fake.
Big time.
Juju is one of the best shot blockers in the conference, so.
Forbes fires 3, got it. Nothing but net for the 1,000-point scorer.
I don't think you really want to go under the ball screen on Mackenzie Forbes.
SC shooting 50% from the floor, and there's a whistle.
I think it's going to be on Whitaker, possibly for the moving screen.
That's exactly what it is. And Charlotte picking up her first with substitutes coming in for both squads. You know, with fresh legs.
Juju taking a breather here. There's a lot of coaches that are 3 and key, 3 and key. I'm not one of them. The hardest thing to take away is what Juju Watkins is doing, that mid-range jumper.
Absolutely. Sometimes it does become a statistical numbers game. We see that so often with Utah as Samuels is able to keep the ball in the possession of USC, getting into Mackenzie Forbes, and some travel there, but she got the ball off to Rhea Marshall. Just moving it around, 6 on the shot clock. Long 3 coming, and just off the rim for Mackenzie Forbes. Just keeping an eye on Miller and see if they're going to try and work her open again with Erinette Vonleh back in the game. And the shot will go to Sherrod. Nice jumper from Jalen Sherrod.
Mid-range, again, tough to take away. Sherrod is somebody you're probably going to go under the screen on, but you don't want to give her that little 16-foot, 17-foot jumper, because she can really hit it.
Trojans looking over to get the call from their coach. Quay got a hand in there, and the ball ends up in Kendall Wetta's hand. You know it's going somewhere near the hoop. She gets the pass back from Sherrod. One more pass, and sharing the basketball are the Buffs. Quay Miller has 8, but everyone felt like they should get an assist Hockey-style passing for Colorado.
That is Colorado at their best, running with 5. A lot of times, as coaches, you don't want that many passes, but that was great, just execution, working it to that wide open 1-footer.
So good. You got to take another look at it.
No free touch. No free touch against CU. You got to step to those passes. You thought you had the 2-on-1. She wasn't sure. Gives it up to her buddy. Gives it up to her buddy. Wide open 1-footer. Beautiful execution. That's Colorado basketball.
Hot potato with the best of them. Or they could try out for the Harlem Globetrotters, whichever one comes first.
Well, when they're getting their assists, which are one of the top teams in the conference, and when they're pushing tempo, that's when they're at their best.
Yeah, Buffs average 20 assists per game. And 80 points per game.
Sorry, Jenny. And I should add, and when they're getting steals.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
that's huge. It's the name of the game. And Kendall, what a right up there in the mix, 35 on the season. Quay got a hand on that first. But that's, you know, the important thing when you're talking about a team and why they've gotten to this position is you're calling out so many different names, and it's a different player each and every night. And that's not to take away from what USC does, because they have Juju Watkins. That's a once-in-a-lifetime player. And all their team has to buy into that. Speaking of, she was found. Padilla picking up an assist. Other end, Jalen Sherrod with the moves. Can't get it to go. And the ball gets stripped from McLeod. Up to Watkins. She thought about stopping a pop. She slowed up Aronette and just drives right past her. That's a quick dozen for Juju Watkins.
Yeah, she's so consistent and good in transition.
18-12. 30 seconds here in the quarter. McLeod hands off to Frida Foreman. Foreman at the baseline. She draws the foul. So Mackenzie Forbes going to pick up her first.
We talked about it early. She is pretty unstoppable. You don't want to come out. You want to sit down, build walls on Juju, and hope she misses. You don't want to give her that open layup.
As long as you're guarding her in transition, you have to have fast feet. You've got to keep your feet going the same direction she's going.
Well, make her shoot over you.
Absolutely.
You know, you're not going to block her shot. But, well, Vonleh maybe, but I mean, great hustle getting back for Vonleh. She just needs to protect the rim.
Frida Foreman, first free throw good. 16 points for her against UCLA.
I will say that they've done a great job of not fouling Juju Watkins, and that's a huge key for this game.
Absolutely, just one personal foul for Colorado, and it was off ball.
It was on offense.
It was, yeah. Legal screen from Charlotte Whitaker. 4-point difference, and Watkins looks like she's going to have the last go, but they keep it alive. Padilla can't get it to fall off the glass.
Great defense by CU to finish off the quarter.
18-14. Feels like we're going to have a back and forth affair here in Boulder today, and our hearts go out to Larry Zimmer's face. Well, the Juju Watkins show's in town in Boulder. It is a must-watch basketball, and once again today, number 12 matching her number right now. 12 points through the first quarter, and she does it in a variety of ways.
Yeah, and Lindsay Gottlieb and their coaching staff has done a fantastic job of just moving her around. She's started in the blow post. She's worked at the elbow. You saw that beautiful backdoor cut she made on Sherrod. I mean, they just do a really good job of moving her around.
On Friday against Utah in the 20-point loss, the rest of the team scored 32 points to her 26. I think you can do that for just about every game. She makes up almost 40% of their points, it feels like. And right there, got a nice tip on the ball and causes a turnover.
You can't pass over the top with Juju Watkins.
At the top of the key, she hands it off to Padilla.
Double screen.
Watching the movement, and Taylor Bigby continues to be hot from 3. She has 6.
Beautiful execution. Watkins drew 2 on the curl, and Bigby was wide open.
Aronette cross-court pass to an open Quay Miller for 3. Nailed it. Stay hot, Quay Miller.
5 for 5.
Points.
5 for 5. Beat her.
Absolutely. What else did you notice in the first quarter there, Coach, when you look at CU and their defense and how they can get back in this?
Well, I mean, I thought what Utah did really well against Juju is they kind of just brought the house, kind of like that play right there. I mean, you just can't guard her one-on-one.
Got a big stop and can't convert on the other end. A short jumper from Sherrod and then a turnover. That'll help you.
Yeah, right idea. Akinwafo, kind of a tough pass. You don't usually want to outlet across the court.
Sub coming in, and Roxanne Makolo.
And being very strategic, giving Juju Watkins some breaks. We're at altitude, second game. She's up there in her minutes, top 10 in the Pac-12. You're up 4.
You see it often when teams travel in, play the mountain schools, they got to spread the minutes, right? You just played at altitude in Utah, you're over here in Boulder, doing the same thing. Was that kind of always your method when you were coaching?
You know, I think if you're in good shape, which I think these teams are, you know, you're going to dig deep and stuff, but yeah, you want to have depth.
Quay Miller
nice
passing
pass.
it off. There it is.
They tried to double her. They knew she was hot. Beautiful find.
Aaronette Von Lay getting in the mix because they're all over Quay Miller now.
Definitely the toughest road trip right now in the Pac-12 because you fly between this altitude and you got 2 of the top teams in the country.
Defense in it, long range shot and a miss.
In and out. Went halfway down. Good look for Forbes.
2-point contest. Can the Buffs tie it up or take the lead? Aaronette with the pass and a cutting. Tamia Sadler just missing it.
Yeah, just rushed it a little bit. Probably didn't need to dribble. Just you want to chin and read. Double was coming. Again, Von Lay so improved. Better passer, better shooter from the perimeter.
Good turnover for the Buffs in the game. USC has 3. Bigby to Rhea Marshall. She's gonna take one. Looks like it might have got contested, and picking it up, Taylor Bigby gets fouled.
Big offensive rebound. Bigby's another player that's really improved. She has just really been flourishing at USC. Comes out of a powerhouse high school, Centennial High School in Vegas. And, you know, went to Oregon. They were pretty loaded. Didn't really find her fit. I think Coach Gottlieb and her staff have done a great job. She's not just a shooter. She's rebounding. She's actually one of their best defensive stoppers. She got a lot of credit for shutting down London Jones in their victory over UCLA last week.
Making 8 points now for Bigby, knocking down her free throws, and Sadler did pick up the foul. That was the first defensive foul that the Buffs have had in the game here.
Which is going to be really important if they want to win this game.
Buffs working it around. Sherrod inside to Quay Miller. Will she attack or will she pass? Right, trying to get right over. And Rhea Marshall does what she does. A nice block, 28 on the season now. Marshall set that USC blocks record last year with 98 of them. The ball got knocked away from her there on the inside post, up to Sherrod, and an easy layup. Jalen Sherrod with 4. She's 19th all-time in scoring.
Both coaches, key, take care of the ball. Not because they don't usually, but because both these teams play such good, aggressive defense and deny passes.
11 points away from 1,300 now for Sherrod. Inside and in for Makolo. Separation for USC again. They're up by 4.
Good spark off the bench by Makolo.
She brings such experience as a grad transfer from TCU. Also went to Purdue.
And more of a defensive stopper, so if she gives you some offense, that's really bonus.
Sherrod, wow.
Daring her to shoot.
Such a nice jumper.
USC is really packing in the paint now, kind of getting away a little bit for some of their pressure and just daring Colorado to shoot.
Subs waiting to come in. Inside to Makolo, and nowhere near the rim. She's knocked on the floor, and the Buffs have numbers if they use it. Sadler attacking the rim. She'll go under. And the pass too high to her teammates. Pushing ahead. And Sherrod will pick up a foul on Bigby.
They did have numbers, although I will say SC is really getting back in transition. And they did. They worked hard on it in practice yesterday. Really give them credit. Sadler does a great job when she has the ball, pushing tempo.
Should have turned over that possession on the other end now.
See Beth Burns on the bench there.
Yeah.
She coached here at CU back in the day. So I guess she kind of counts for the alumni game today.
Yeah, they're celebrating players from the 70s and 80s here. It's basketball at CU, and Beth Burns.
Such a great hire by Lindsay Gottlieb. She is a phenomenal defensive coordinator for SC, and it just really balances Lindsay's strengths.
I got to know Beth well when I worked in San Diego, and she was at the helm at San Diego State. I always loved talking to her and catching her knowledge. Rhea Marshall with another block.
Well, I talked to her after practice, and she was really, really frustrated with her play in Utah. She's like, I'm going to have a chip on my shoulder. I'm going to be back. Great block.
You can tell, even if the points aren't there, her defense always is into the block. That presence alone, I'm talking about 6'4", her wingspan, her ability. 4 on the shot clock. Ball got tipped around, and another turnover. Juju Watkins pushing it on Sadler. She puts on the moves between the legs and just floats one. You can't get it to go. There's a whistle, and
It's going to be a foul on Juju Watkins over the back. But, yeah, Juju in the open court, she is drawing almost 3 defenders, a rare miss, and I think she's just a little frustrated, kind of a frustration foul. Great game we got here.
Pac-12 women's basketball is brought to you by Clean Simple Eats, elevating life through food and fitness. By MGM Rewards, earn points on every game-winning celebration. Visit mgmrewards.com for details. And by Las Vegas, the greatest arena on earth. Well, the frigid temperatures actually turned pretty nice. Don't worry about the snow. It's like 50 degrees in Boulder today. We also got a hot contest. 23 points for Boulder. They trail by 4. USC coming in strong. And, of course, a lot of that has to do with the play of Juju Watkins getting things done. She's joined by Bigby in double figures. 12 points to lead all scorers for USC. Quay Miller, she got going early, and that's always a good sign for Boulder's offense, and 11 points for her. For Quay Miller, 5 of 7 from the floor. She's had a couple rebounds, too, so the all-around game today.
Yeah, she's, I mean, I would really run more stuff to her. Great high-low pass. She's really feeling it today, scoring every which way. Great rip drive. I don't really know. I mean, Rhea Marshall is a great defender, but Quay can take her out and fake her and get her out of her stance. And, I mean, obviously, if you're JR, you want to get other people going. You'd like to see Foreman. I mean, when Foreman's going, that's really when they're at their best. So we'll see if they run something for her. Tried to run the little backdoor curl.
Are you a coach? Do you know what's coming at that timeout? Nailed it.
Yeah, well, that's huge for CU. I mean, they need more than 2 people, and they're such a balanced scoring team. They don't have a Juju Watkins, and so it's team offense.
Weta got her hand right in the face of Watkins, and that's about as best as you can play her. But Bigby had a hot hand, too, from 3 missing.
Yeah, that was less space than in a
Marshall's missing her shoe, and she's trailing late. Sadler lays it in. Tamia Sadler with 4 off the bench. That is a tied game now at 27 apiece.
And now the crowd's getting involved. SC's kind of kept them out of the game so far.
That's something to cheer about. See if SC can put a stop. They're 0 for their last 4 field goals. Bigby in the corner. Marshall looks to hand it off to her. Didn't have a lot of space with Kendall Weta on her, but she drives and misses as the shot clock is winding down. Buffs rebound. And the 6th man definitely into it. Weta Whitaker, and she'll look for Freeman. There's the 3-point shot, and a miss for Frida Foreman.
Wow, unlucky for SC. 2 people right there on the weak side board, and they just kind of hit into each other, went off their hands. Weta was hanging around. She had a great rebounding game Friday night. She's really sneaky on that weak side board.
That's what she does. She can be pesky all over the court. Miller up top, and they run the play to get it back to Foreman. Lost the ball out of bounds, and it is going to be last touched by USC as Mackenzie Forbes punched it out. Lindsay Gottlieb's having a quick conversation with the referees. I'm not sure.
I think she thought they got
that call.
got the turnover on the flick.
Into Whitaker, and she had a hard time, but grabs her own rebound and puts it back. Charlotte Whitaker with 2.
Well, when she gets it that deep, there's nothing you can do. That is a big body.
Buffs take the lead 29-27 here in the second quarter. Under 3 to go in the half. Big B from the corner. Can't tie the game or take the lead. And on the floor, a whistle. It's going to go against the Buffs.
I think it might be
Kendall Wetta picking it up.
Well, I don't think it was. Let's take a look at it again. Oh, I think maybe it was, yeah.
She got tied up there with Caitlin Davis. And now Davis checking out for Marshall coming back in.
Speaking of what is rebounding.
Right? Forbes hands it off to Juju. Watkins with Sherrod on her, and in comes Kendall Wetta fighting around for the ball. They're going to call a jump ball.
Oh, wow.
One ref has a jump ball.
One was about to call a foul.
And Charles Gonzalez almost had a foul call.
Take a look at that again. Great jump out by Sherrod, and then you see Wetta just leave Forbes, and she's going to double team. And then it's just a scrum from there. I mean,
who would the foul have gone on if you call it? Because Juju's kind of reaching around.
I think it would have gone on Juju. So kind of a lucky break for the SC because she was trying to get the ball and really didn't have position. Miscommunication there by Colorado. Got lucky. Juju doesn't miss too many open shots.
She does not. Shot clock was down to 1 when she fired it off. Wetta over to Foreman, and just a quick hand on it for Taylor Bigby. So both these defenses really tightening up here in the second quarter.
Yeah, well, SC's just long. You know, they're really long, so you really have to, you know, break the glass to make the pass or fake a pass to make a pass. You know, they're getting their hands on a lot of Colorado's passes.
Ernest Von Lay back in the game. Let's see what kind of difference she can make. Just 2 points today so far. All tipped away. Wetta pulls it in. 10 on the shot clock. Wetta gets it stripped. Juju Watkins, it's now a race to the hoop. Jalen Sherrod came in late, and a foul call as Juju lays on the ground.
Well, Jalen Sherrod. Let's look at this again. I mean, just beautiful pick. I mean, usually Kendall Wetta is the one picking people. Yeah, definitely got her from behind. But I will say, hopefully she's okay. I don't think that was anything intentional. I don't think she meant to hurt her, but you really don't want to give Juju Watkins a three-point play.
I think the refs are going to look at it.
I think they are going to review it.
It felt like a hard basketball play, right? You know, 2 players going in there hard, and of course Juju falls hard.
Right, I agree. I mean, she's going full speed, so when you come down on that ball, even if you get some harm, I mean, it's going to impact her, and I agree with you 100%, Jenny. So Wetta wasn't going to chase her down. It might have been, I don't know who they called the foul on.
They called it on Wetta. And it is going to be a common foul. So Charles Gonzalez, one of the members of the refereeing crew here today, talking to Charlie Turner-Thorne to let her know.
So it is just going to be a common foul, and the foul was on Kendall Wetta.
Well, stay with us after the first half concludes for the Walt Disney World Halftime Report. That's coming up. Juju Watkins will be at the line. It was Wetta's second foul.
Which is unfortunate. She has really been doing a good job on Juju Watkins, just chasing her off of screen after screen and not giving her any space at all.
It's no surprise. Juju Watkins has attempted over 100 free throws this season. She's at 82 free throw, has an 82% free throw shooting percentage.
I had her in camp as a 6th grader. She was the best player in the camp as a 6th grader, but I don't even think I would have predicted.
I love that. So you had no idea who was coming in, and your son pointed it out, right?
Well, no, Julie Rousseau, Dr. Julie Rousseau is her godmother, and she brought her to camp. She knew how good she was. She's like, oh yeah, she's really good, Charlie.
Ernest Von Lay underneath, and Juju got a hand on it.
Little did we know. I don't think anybody would have even impacted the year that she's having as a freshman.
The National Gatorade Player of the Year just airballed it, and she knew it. She pointed to her chest. My bad. She got it.
But she got it, you know, she kind of played it off. That's great maturity for a freshman.
29 all, under minute 30 here in the half. Marinette Vonleh dribbles off to Frida Foreman, setting a screen for her. Frida goes the other way. She'll shoot at the baseline and gets the roll.
We always like to say Frida. We love her three-point shot. They love her three-point shot here in Buff Nation, but she's really she's a three-level scorer. She really is, and her mid-range is sometimes her best shot, in my opinion.
SC has not made a field goal in their last 8 attempts, and here under a minute, they're going to try and get some action going, but it looks like Juju might be bleeding, and she is out of her nose.
Good catch by our official, Nicole Murray, just saying, hey, wait a second. So I don't know if they're going to
take care of that. And Lindsay Gottlieb
usually
goes,
have
good excuse to use it as a quick timeout.
Yeah, right. Thank you, Nicole Murray. Usually if you can correct it in about 20 seconds, they will not make you sub, but otherwise they're going to make them sub out Juju, which she does not want right now. She saw the hard hedge on the ball screen, refused it. Beautiful contested jumper by Frida Foreman. Huge that she's getting going for the Buffs in this second quarter.
Foreman 2 for 4 today from the field, 0 for 2 from three-point range. So to your point, they're used to making the splash buckets. They're getting it done with the shorter jumpers right now. Padilla with the ball, 5 on the shot clock. She drives into 2 Buffs, passes it to the corner for 3, no good for Mackenzie Forbes. And Quay Miller with the board.
Showing her handles.
Buffs up by 2 here. Difference on shot clock, game clock. And a whistle off the ball. It's going to be on Big B.
Yeah, just bumped her on the cut. Easy call. Wow, Mackenzie Forbes, I know she's a little frustrated right now because she is getting some good looks. And you know, she really is one of their big 3. It's important that her and Rhea get going today.
1 of 5 from the field, and a little chip shot miss from Marinette Vonleh. Foul on Quay Miller, her first, and that's a 5th on the Buffs. So head to line for the bonus here with 29.2 seconds to go in the quarter. Don't forget our halftime shows coming up. Remember the great legendary voice of the CU Buffs, Larry Zimmer, who passed away last night. Taylor Big B knocking it down.
On Friday night, really, that's 30 free throws UCLA shot. And I think with CU, it's the second game of the week. Everybody's tired, just staying disciplined. You're not having those silly fouls. You missed a shot. Get back, play defense.
11 points for Taylor Bigby, and CU's going to play for the last shot here with a 1-point lead. All in Sherrod's hand. She's moving everyone around. She wants to take it, driving all the way in, and a whistle.
Yeah, a lot of contact there on the drive by Kayla Padilla. So right here it gets under, just not quite the angle. It's pretty hard to cut off Sherrod when you go under the ball screen.
Yeah, on the floor. So Kayla Padilla picked up a foul on the drive, and here comes the inbound. 6.6 seconds. Floats it into Quay, back to Sherrod. She'll drive baseline, has to get it up. Throws up a prayer, gets the whistle.
Well, and I'll make the same comment. That's a really, really frustrating foul for the USC coaching staff because, I mean, Sherrod had nowhere to go and really no angle to make that shot. But that's just, she's so explosive. It's just, you know, you just kind of, I don't know. She draws fouls. It's
what she does.
It's what she does.
It's 2 fouls on Juju Watkins.
Made something out of nothing. That's what we call that, Jenny.
Absolutely. 7 points for Sherrod now. Missing the second, and that's the buzzer. A 2-point lead for the Colorado Buffaloes, 32-30. This game has changed leads just 3 times compared to the 20 lead changes between Colorado and UCLA on Friday night. J.R. Payne, the head coach of the CU Buffs, joining us.
Thank you.
Well, that's the key word from both coaches. We heard from J.R. Payne going into the half, likes the aggressiveness of the team. Can you control that aggressiveness and keep it up here for the last 20 minutes?
Oh, you can absolutely control aggressiveness. So, you know, and these are 2 of the most aggressive teams in the conference. So it is going to be a gut check, and who can do that with discipline, Jenny, with discipline.
Yeah, the refs did a really nice job of letting both teams play as well. Just 6 fouls through 2 quarters of play. We'll see here as the third quarter starts, the Buffs have the ball and they go to Aaronette Von Lay. She's gonna have to dribble out of trouble and hands it off to Jalen Sherrod. Jalen Sherrod back to Von Lay and Aquay Miller with the turnover. So that sharing of the basketball early in the game for CU turns up in a turnover there. On the other end, Mackenzie Forbes turns it into points, and that is huge for USC, who really struggled with their shot selection or just getting shots to fall in the second quarter.
Yeah, you knew she wasn't going to keep missing those wide open looks. She's too good a shooter.
Aquay Miller finds separation, leaves it short. USC finished 0 for 9, and now they come out firing. A miss from Juju Watkins. Maddie Nolan on the floor for CU. She hasn't scored the last 6 quarters. Like 27 minutes.
I think teams are keen on her.
Involved. There you go.
There you go, Coach. Oh,
yes.
Almost called it.
Around the rim, bouncing out. Watkins all the way in. Off the glass too hard, but a foul call.
Really a breakdown in transition defense there by CU. Nettie Von Lay should not be picking up Juju Watkins in transition. So here, I mean, we got too many people behind the ball. First thing you pick up in transition is the ball. Juju Watkins, again, so hard to stop. You can't stop her with one player, more or less your center. And this is what Colorado does not want to do. They do not want to put USC on the free throw line.
Well, you mentioned it. They had a really tough time with UCLA. Sending the line 30 times. They made 24 of those shots. And today so far, this is going to be the 10th free throw coming for SC. And they're 90% from the line today. 16 points for Watkins. Von Lay trying to find a cutting free to Foreman, throws it right into the hands of Rhea Marshall. Marshall without a point in this game, didn't have one at Utah either, and Von Lay got a hand on it, knocks it back into the hands of Padilla. Offense running for USC, and they're trying to get Juju Watkins open, or Mackenzie Forbes, who's hot so far in the third quarter.
Hot hand. Mackenzie, you know, 6th year really, because they didn't play that 1 year at Harvard, started at Cal. Just a great senior leader and prolific scorer.
3 for 6 from 3-point range. She's coming up with time now for the Liberty Mutual most needed play, and it came as a 3-pointer from Mackenzie Forbes. She's knocked down 3 of those today, 2 here in the third quarter, and all of a sudden an 8-0 run for USC. They find themselves back on top by 6.
Well, Lindsey Gottlieb wanted to see how her team would respond after that really tough loss at Utah, and I would say in the first 22 minutes they've responded really well.
Absolutely, they went from shooting 14% to 66% quarter to quarter. Of course, still plenty of time to go here in the third quarter. Maddie Nolan out to Aquay Miller. Charlotte Whitaker takes a dribble off to Frida Foreman for 3 and a miss. Maddie Nolan was there to save the day with 7 on the shot clock. Foreman recognized, but off to Sherrod. She'll shoot as time winds down.
A couple good looks for CU that just didn't drop.
Juju, her shot has been really off at certain points here in the last 10 or 12 minutes of basketball. Miller turns with the hook and a late whistle as Rhea Marshall turns around to ask what?
I don't know. we can see that again. It's hard to see from our angle, but great stop, get to 2 feet, reverse pivot, little hook shot there. Not really going to block the hook shot, so even if it looks like a foul, usually you're going to get that whistle.
Good offensive day for Quay Miller. Also good defensive day, nearing in on another double-double. She has 6 of those so far this season. 12 points, 8 rebounds right now. 7:11 left in the third quarter. That's the roll there. Forbes brings it up with Maddie Nolan on her.
Gonna ISO Juju probably.
And a travel call is going to turn the ball over.
I missed that up top. I was
with Forbes. I missed it too. She turned to ask, what?
Usually, you know, a lot of people do that and they don't call it, but this year in the Pac-12, if you travel, they're calling it. And I like the consistency.
Buffs down by 4. Maddie Nolan for 3, and she cannot get a home roll. That has to be so frustrating for a shooter. And it's going to go SC's way here.
Yeah, halfway down. Mackenzie Forbes is talking to the official. Wait, I don't think I traveled.
We get a replay?
There's the veteran there, just kind of working it. She's really brought tremendous leadership to this Trojan team.
Weta on Watkins. Buyer, and then by a statue, Frida Foreman standing there trying to block her.
Yeah, you need early aggressive help side on Juju Watkins.
Quay Miller for 3, and nothing but net for Quay Miller. She's up to 16.
I want to find her.
Forbes trying to hand it off to Juju, and tenacious defense from the Buffs here. She's just gonna shoot over you. Give her an inch. She'll take it, missing there off the glass.
Not by much, though.
Buffs trail by 3 into Whitaker. Out to Weta and off to Nolan.
Better ball movement by Colorado here.
Quay Miller thought she was open, and she is on fire, ladies and gentlemen.
I just want to say, I think I mentioned earlier in the game how this is the type of scoring I think we thought Quay Miller might be bringing even more this year, but picked a great time.
Quay Miller has the last 8 points for the Buffs. Up to 19, and the crowd is feeling it, trying to will this defense to make a stop.
Great defense by Kendall Weta. They tried to run that back door special again, and Kendall read it the whole way.
Quay Miller all over, and another double-double. That's 7 on the season now for Quay Miller.
What a swing. Miller on an 8-0 run herself. On fire. Draining it from the threes.
It's time now for the Clean, Simple, Easy, Clean, Get Results moment, and that is all about the play of Quay Miller. She has 19 to lead all Buffs, but she has all the points so far here in the third quarter for them to get this game tied up. Oh, and she's rebounding. Add in a double-double for Quay Miller.
Well, she is their leading rebounder, so she's always consistent with that. But it's really fun to see her show her versatility and be so consistent on the offensive end tonight.
So it's her 8 points in the third quarter. Yeah, over 2 for 2. 3-point range, that's her field goals. She's played USC 3 other times in a CU uniform, and she's scored 13 points in every single game. Right now she's sitting at 19 in this one. Plenty of time to go, and a fight on the ground. Frida Foreman keeps it and hands it off to Quay Miller, who's hot from 3, and she finally misses in the third quarter. At least that's what USC's defense is saying. Juju all the way in, Euro steps to the finish.
Somebody's got to get in front of Juju Watkins sooner, or she's going to do that for the rest of the game. Great aggressive take, finding the space on the floor.
20 points for Juju Watkins. 32 points in her debut, and she has not slowed down her freshman season. in the Pac-12.
I think that was Juju's hands again on that steal, but here she is in the open court. Weta on the side. You know, I don't know what she was thinking, but I think she's got to get in front of her. Beautiful finish with contact, Juju Watkins.
And you know what might be the most impressive thing about her? She's on the Dean's List her freshman year at USC. That is not something that's easy to do. Beth Burns told me she should be most proud of that.
Yeah, she's an incredible person.
Padilla, nice kiss off the glass.
Nice long layup over Quay Miller. Padilla's averaged 18 points a game at Penn. I mean, she's a very capable three-level scorer. Lindsay would like to see her maybe trying to get more touches and more scoring.
Her first points in this contest, and Kendall Weta answers on the other end. Her first points as well, and cuts the USC lead to 2.
Nice hezzy.
To your point on Padilla, you have these grad transfers in, right? Ivy League, tough schools come in and add to the mix. Reagan Marshall on the board.
Another tough shot.
Needs to feel good for her. Her first points in the Mountain Time Zone. Didn't have any at Utah, and finally here in the second half on the board.
Sometimes it just takes that one basket, and then you know you can kind of relax, get going. That would be huge for the Trojans.
Weta with 6 on the shot clock. Off to Sadler, catch and shoot for the 3. Tobias Sadler has 7.
She's instant offense off the bench, and she provides some really good hard-nosed defense.
You know how big that 3 was? Just her 5th made 3 this year.
She shoots it very rarely, but she actually is a good shooter. She developed that here at CU, more of a
off-ball whistle. That's going to get the crowd into this. Juju with the look once again. Third foul now on Juju Watkins.
So we can see that again here. I think it's
just out of the picture.
Really out of the picture. I think Weta was kind of top blocking her, you know, not allowing her to come off the cut, and she might have pushed through her a little bit.
1-point game. Buffs look to take the lead again on this possession. Vonleh turns and shoots, and yes, indeed. The Buffs back on top, 47-46.
Well, it would be so huge for the Buffs if Vonleh and Sherrod could kind of get going. Both of them pretty quiet today.
Kick and shoot, 3-point answer, no good for Samuels. Pushing it up, and a near turnover as Sadler pulls it back in, and she'll dribble to the top of the key off to Sherrod.
Great job by Malia Samuels to get back in transition. The freshman's been injured and just started playing recently, but Lindsay Gottlieb really likes what she brings.
Miller looking to get the ball back to Sherrod. She can't do anything, so hands it off. And Sadler feeling it from 3, but missing short there, out of bounds, and it'll go with USC. That brings in Clarice Akumafo. 6'6". That's tied for the tallest player ever at USC in women's basketball program.
And Juju Watkins on the bench. I'm thinking Lindsay will probably, Coach Gottlieb will give her this last minute or so to catch her breath, and then ride her the whole way.
Yeah, with 3 fouls, you want to save her for all 10 minutes of the fourth quarter. Good defense by the Buffs, and Ernette Vonleh picking up the foul underneath is...
Actually, they're going to call it on Sherrod.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I think Vonleh had kind of stepped over. Really could have gone on a couple of people. I think they were just a little late on the help.
Caitlin Davis will head to the line. All right, Sherrod. Her second.
Caitlin Davis, transfer from Columbia. Another Ivy League grad transfer, got hurt in the Seton Hall games. She missed a few games, so hasn't been as healthy as SC would like, but she's a great rebounder, tough, hard-nosed. Definitely think she can be a good pro.
Ended up on the All-Ivy League team twice in her career at Columbia. Under a minute here, all tied up. third quarter left, less than. Sherrod drives, connects. Jalen Sherrod.
They've sort of been giving that to her, going under, allowing her to have her pull-up shot. That's a little dangerous.
Providing some energy from the elbow jumper. 4 seconds separate shot clock, game clock. Forbes to Juju Watkins back in. Forbes for 3. No good, and a big-time rebound from Aaronette Vonleh muscling it in. And it's going to stay with the Buffs. They wanted to go the other way, and Lindsay Gottlieb jumping all the way down to the end of her bench to get Roxanne McCullough.
McCullough, yes, Juju. Vonleh just sets a huge screen here, wide open jumper.
Sherrod trying to go over USC. She gets stuffed, not by the 6'6" player, but by Roxanne McCullough. So subbing in for defense, getting Juju off, made a big difference there. Sherrod did it her head hard, coming down. We got a game in Boulder. Buffs up by 2, 49-47. Fourth quarter coming up. Pac-12 women's basketball is brought to you by Columbia, the official apparel company of the Pac-12. And powered by Sprouts Farmers Market, the official grocer of the Pac-12. Well, exactly what you expected in a top 6 matchup between these two schools, back and forth. And right now, CU has a 2-point advantage heading in to the fourth quarter. CU had a look there at the end of the third quarter, but Jalen Sherrod got hit pretty hard underneath. It got blocked, but got knocked down hard. And you'll notice she hits her head, but what a play. I mean, again, you have 6'6" on you, and who's the one that ends up getting the block with the 5'10" graduate guard in McCullough. McCullough's still in the game. She'll bounce it right in front of us here, the broadcast table. Jenny Kavner, Charlie Turner-Thorne along with you. Excited for this finish. And Kenaweta strips it away early. It's going to be a jump ball, and the possession arrow is going to go to the Buffs. What a slow to get up.
And that is Kenaweta. She is quickly becoming the Apollo Robbins of the Pac-12. How's that for trivia time?
I like it.
Look it up. World's greatest pickpocket. Juju's not bad herself.
Oh, Kenaweta almost got a taste of her own medicine there as Juju Watkins got a hand on it, but remains in control with the Buffs. Foreman over to Weta. Weta drives, backing it out, and 9 on the shot clock now. Bounce pass in, trying to lead Aaronette. She can't get it, but they keep the ball. She'll have to throw it up. Sherrod, one more pass at the buzzer. No go. They call a shot clock violation there, but
great defense by USC. Just not giving anything easy to Colorado in that possession.
Goes up top to Davis. Juju Watkins has played in her 15th collegiate contest now. She has 20 points in 12 of them, and that time she passes Akunwafo.
Just totally capitalized on the late help by Vonleh.
Jalen Sherrod goes in hard, gets hit real hard. Akunwafo is going to pick up her second foul. I mean, that is just, it's heart against muscle right there. 5'7" on 6'6".
Yeah, we call, you know, the battle of the blood drill today. I mean, these dynamic scoring guards just flying down in transition.
Refs are going to look at this one.
So tough to guard.
Second personal foul, number 34, please, on the wall.
And we'll take a break with it. 49-all, 8:41 to go here in the fourth quarter. It is going to be a battle to the finish between the Buffs and the Trojans. 8:42 to go in the contest, all tied up between the number 3 Buffs and the number 6 Trojans. Referees took a look at this last foul on Jalen Sherrod from Akunwafo, and indeed they go with a common foul, no upgrade.
Yeah, good call. I mean, she wasn't trying. I mean, she kind of got screened out a little bit. I mean, it was a hard foul. Basketball play.
So that'll send Sherrod to the line. 79% free throw shooter this season. Sitting at 9 points now, and add to that, it's double figures for Jalen Sherrod. 5 points shy of 1,300 career points.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that help side defense is going to be really important in this fourth quarter with the dynamic scorers just attacking the paint right now.
Absolutely. Buffs held to just 68. That was the lowest point total they had in the season. Their loss to UCLA. Aaronette Von Lay got a hand on it as Juju Watkins is ready to catch and shoot.
Yeah, good awareness. Curl cut. Von Lay was absolutely the help there for Weta.
Buffs defense disrupting. Trojans go back to Juju Watkins. That's short. Might have got tipped. Sherrod with speed in transition. Will she go all the way to the hole? She stops. Off to Miller, who faked a three and gets pummeled. Juju Watkins in the air, flies right at Miller, and she'll pick up her fourth.
And you have Juju, again, one of the best shot blockers in the conference. Quay Miller has hit her share of threes. Fell for the fake. Hard foul, not a smart foul. Juju Watkins needs to be playing in this game, so we'll see how the freshman I'd sit her down for a minute or so and get her back in. Get her back in and just see how she can play with four.
4 fouls. That is huge. And right there, another quick foul picked up. This time it's going to go on Caitlin Davis, her first, once again against Quay Miller. So that's 3 quick fouls here in the fourth quarter. 2 more fouls, and it's going to be the bonus time for the Buffs at the line. There's a turnover right there. Jalen Sherrod puts it in the hands of Padilla, and here come the Trojans. A lot of action off ball, and ending up on the floor. They're going to give the foul to Kendall Weta, her third. Mackenzie Forbes really sold that coming around.
She did really sell that coming around. This is the veteran. She's getting chased. Kendall kind of hits the screen, Kendall Weta, and so I don't really think she fouled her, but
I mean, I don't blame her for selling
no,
it.
I mean, hey, it's part of the game.
Absolutely. Both these teams are going to play real tough here.
And obviously with Juju out of the game, Mackenzie Forbes is one of the top options. Besides Bigby hasn't been in for a while. She really got going.
Bigby's been real quiet, and you're right, not in.
Great job by Von Lay, getting her hand, tipping that out to Weta.
Sherrod all the way in. She gets tipped from behind, and they do call the foul. It's going to go on Mackenzie Forbes, her second.
Again, SC had such great transition defense all game. They have got to get back. Yeah, it looked like she just kind of smacked her a little bit on the back of the head. That is going to be the game. Transition defense and then just playing defense without fouling. I really think for both teams.
Sherrod can't get the roll.
Colorado went to their zone that last possession, which has really come up big for them. Fourth quarter against U of A, it was critical for them to pull out that game. It's very aggressive. Oh, and here comes Bigby.
It's up by 3,
in against the
and
zone.
Bigby going to get over and back call.
Heady play by Kayla Padilla because she looked for a teammate. You don't want to save that unless you're going to be able to pass it to a teammate, and Sherrod was right there. So 2 big stops in the zone for Colorado.
Bounce pass feed, and Foreman has to kind of pull it out. There's been a couple of those today.
Lots of pressure.
9 on the shot clock for Jalen Sherrod against Padilla. She'll pull the ball in, and she's looking for someone. It was a Quay Miller pass too high, and it's going to be out of bounds. They're going to call it USC's way. So as much as CU likes to share the ball, we're seeing just either really tough defense from USC or some not crisp passes from CU.
Yeah, I'm going to credit USC's defense. I mean, they're just really not allowing them to get good ball movement and flow.
Watkins back in the game.
Colorado going to stay in their zone.
Gottlieb. And they're going to and double
They will
team her.
trap out of it.
Absolutely.
Smart to look to trap Juju in it for sure.
Do the big B, bounce pass inside and up and over Annette Von Lay. No roll for Forbes.
There's their leading rebounder, cleaning it up.
Double-double continues and counting. 19 points, 11 boards for Quay Miller.
See if they can get settled down and organized and actually get a good possession.
Organized, a great word. Right there, that pass again, just not as crisp as we're used to seeing. What off to Aronette, floats through, no go, and a board for Rhea Marshall. Oh, right into Sherrod. We're going to call it the other way. Juju Watkins has fouled out of this game. The freshman phenom for USC fouling out with 5:50 to go.
Yeah, let's see that again, but I think that was a good call. That was my take on it. The fifth-year senior just heads up. No turn and look. It is open court, but she did beat her to the spot. So sometimes, you know, if you're dribbling, you got to give them a little space on the screen. On a catch, you really don't. So I from all my years of coaching, I think that was the right call. Tough break for the Trojans. Some other people are going to really have to step up right now, Jenny.
Jalen Sherrod threw her entire hand in the air and wiggled all 5 fingers, made sure the crowd knew exactly what was going on. They got Watkins out of the game. Buffs trying to take advantage, up by 3. And underneath, there's going to be a whistle. So we knew this was going to get physical, but right now it's getting extracurricular.
Yeah, Quay Miller going to be charged with the offensive foul down low. I think she had a deep seal and got a little excited.
2 fouls on Miller. USC scoring drought over 3 minutes.
Colorado staying in their extended 2-3 zone that they will trap out of.
To the corner, Bigby looking for space, didn't have it. Forbes back to Bigby from the corner, and she got it. Huge 3 for USC, breaks a scoring drought, and more importantly, we're all tied again at 52. 5 minutes to go in the game. Kendall Wett on the left wing, she drives. Sherrod wide open. Oh, she couldn't get the roll. It hung up there for quite some time. The crowd tried to make it go in. And a big pickup. Can USC keep it moving? Turns the ball over. Wetta up top to Sherrod. The crowd's gonna go nuts for Jalen Sherrod.
A lesser player would have held the ball, maybe dribbled it. Great heads up. Down court pass by Kendall Wetta.
Those two have such a special connection in terms of assists. USC looking for the open shot. Driving inside and stripped away. That time Frida Foreman comes up with the steal.
If you haven't played against this zone before, and a lot of these players on the court right now have not against Colorado, it is swarming.
Wett on the right wing. She's gonna
gut check right now. Both teams look really tired.
Finally come up. They do. Baseline bounce pass. Aronette. No good on the jumper. Fighting in there was Miller, but Rhea Marshall out-muscles her. Marshall picking up her 7th rebound. And a timeout from Lindsay Gottlieb. So probably sensing that too in terms of being tired. Just want
Let's
to
talk
gather
about
the team.
how we want to attack this zone. Let's talk about it.
That was huge from Kendall Wetta.
Yeah, that was 2 turnovers in a row. Just everybody take a breath.
So 54-52, 3:29 to go. In this timeout, how are you setting things up if you're Lindsay Gottlieb and if you're J.R. Payne?
Well, really the key to CU's extended 2-3 zone is ball movement. Like, you do not want to catch and dribble. That's when they get their traps in and then jump passing lanes. So if you can kind of fake and get in gaps and get some ball movement, you can get some mid to low. They will swarm in the mid a little bit, but they're really overplaying. And if you hold it, you can't see the weak side. You can't see the mid passes. So it's ball movement.
Who are you looking for if you're USC? You don't have Juju Watkins in the game
I'm
fouled
looking
out.
for Forbes or Bigsby, and then I'm looking for Rhea to clean it up. But I'll tell you, Padilla is a good three-point shooter.
She just hasn't had much going on today.
Well, that's a lot of players can say that when they play CU.
Absolutely, yeah.
Tough defense.
Didn't take many shots. Forbes taking 9 shots. She's made 3 of them. There it is. Padilla does go with the hook and nowhere near the rim.
That's a tough shot.
Sherrod clears out. Frida Foreman, she'll post in the corner, and Jalen Sherrod gets stuff from Padilla behind. They're going to call it a jump ball, and it will indeed go the way of USC. So good hustle by Kayla Padilla.
Yeah, if we look at it, she thought she was all alone. And here comes Padilla. Beautiful block on the backside. There's your fifth-year senior just stepping up.
Forbes muscling in as she gets stripped. A lot of white jerseys, and once again, Jalen Sherrod ahead of the pack. 16 points for the graduate from Alabama.
It's just really hard to dribble. I mean, in those lanes right now, I mean, they're back in their man, but they are swarming the drivers. CU is on their defense.
Jalen Sherrod now with 1,300 points as a buff. Make it 13:01 off the field goal. Forbes, baseline, and an offensive board, but a whistle.
They're going to call a foul on the shot by Weta. I thought it kind of looked like a good side contest, but Nicole Murray was right there. Must have saw some contact.
Weta picked up her 4th.
So here they are, just absolutely kind of bringing the house on Forbes. Sherrod gets the deflection. Weta with another great early kick up, and Sherrod gets the finish.
6 assists for Kendall Weta today, and at the line, Mackenzie Forbes knocking one down. She has 13. It's a scoring drought for USC that lasted a couple minutes. Free throw's good.
And you know, you really have 5 options on the floor right now for Colorado. So yeah, they're just kind of running their chin action, not necessarily running it specifically to somebody.
And off the way into the hands of Frida Foreman, inside to Quay Miller. She'll put the ball on the ground and a little hook, no roll. And the board to USC.
Good look.
Mackenzie Forbes is slow to get up, but she hustles over in full strength. Padilla had an open look. Off to Forbes.
Oh, nice
And
fake by
Davis.
Kayla.
Wow.
Davis.
Pretty move by Kayla Davis and one.
Right here. Just fake the handoff to Forbes. Faked out CU and finishes with contact. 5th-year senior.
USC can take the lead once again on a 3-point play. Lead was in the 3rd quarter at 46-45, and it'll have to wait. Stays tied on the miss, 56 all. Under a minute 30 to go, and Jalen Sherrod is going to dribble over towards her coach, calling a timeout. J.R. Payne wants to talk it over here with a minute 27 to go.
You know, with the advancing of the ball in the women's game, all the teams have so many more side out of bounds plays. So it's really, you're really ready for these situations.
Well, let's remind you once again, the Pac-12 is tough. You're not going to run the table. J.R. Payne said that before the season. You expect a couple losses. Whoever's going to win it. For Stanford and Colorado, they're both sitting atop 5-1. UCLA right behind them at 4-1. Oregon State, USC, Utah, Washington in the middle of the pack. And it really is going to end up being anyone's game. Do you expect, anticipate, what, 2, 3, 4 losses for the winner?
Yeah, absolutely. And you could have some co-champs like we did last year with Utah and Stanford. I mean, you got Utah at 3-3, and that is a team that's capable of going to a Final Four. So lots of basketball left, and every game is really, really important. Staying healthy is important. Getting better is important.
After this road trip, USC goes home. They'll have the Washington schools, and for Colorado, they will hit the road to the Oregon schools next weekend.
Running a little picket fence, and then cross screen for Vonleh.
Vonleh was double teamed and out to Miller. Sherrod will have 8 on the shot clock. She'll take Padilla all the way in. No roll and a fight for the board. It goes, wow, to Rhea Marshall. They're going to call a jump ball. Possession arrow will stay with Colorado, and that is a surprising call.
So good take by Sherrod, just didn't get it to fall. And if we're going to see it again, hopefully Rhea Marshall is okay.
So it'll be 20 seconds on the shot clock here, and now 1 minute to go in the game. Sherrod all the way in. She finds an open air at Vonleh, who lays it in off the glass.
And there's Sherrod finding something out of nothing. Swarmed in the paint. Finds her buddy for a wide open 2. They're in their zone.
2-point lead for the Buffs. Their fans on the feet from the corner. Bigby, it's short at Kendall Wetta with a huge board.
Because Vonleh was not there to rebound. She tried to get out on Bigby a little late. Bigby actually had a pretty darn good look.
And USC's gonna foul. So it'll be Mackenzie Forbes fouling Frida Foreman.
Sherrod, this team's creator, gets in deep, gets to 2 feet. This is where she's grown her game, just keeps her poised. Steve Nash-like. Her first assist of the game. It was a big one.
Hard to believe for the player that averages 6.1 a game. But that's the beauty of it. You look down the stat sheet and go, Kendall Wetta has 6. She took care of the assist game today, and a lot of those went over to Jalen Sherrod.
Yeah, Frida Foreman can make this a 2-possession game if she can make this shot.
And she does. Gets the Buffs to 60. They are up by 4 over USC. Timeout called.
Still lots of time.
Lots of time to play. 25.2 seconds here. And for USC, I mean, the hardest thing you're working against is the one player that CU and every single team in the Pac-12 is going to key in on is sitting on your bench, and Juju Watkins, who fouled out of this game.
Yeah, that was just so unfortunate because obviously she's the one who you want to have the ball in her hands. CU wants Jalen Sherrod with the ball in her hands, and she's been spectacular. Got a long break kind of in the 3rd quarter, came back fresh, rejuvenated in the 4th quarter, making plays offensively, defensively. She truly has led this team to position them to win this game, but it is not over.
Absolutely not.
We've seen a lot of things happen in 25.2 seconds, and SC is a very athletic team. I expect them to score. Now, you know, back in the day, you would get ready to press, but obviously JR will probably call a timeout in advance if SC gets a bucket here.
Forbes will throw it in
and they're
for the Trojans.
Stay in their zone. 2-possession game. They're thinking that the 3 isn't hurting them. They want to take time off the clock.
Padilla with a long 3 ball, and what about Kayla Padilla? She hasn't had many shots today, and that was a big one.
She stopped, popped, it dropped. Great composure by the 5th-year senior from Penn. We talked about she averaged 18 points at Penn. She is a scorer. She's a big-time player.
That was a huge shot. She's now made 26 threes on the season, 42% three-point shooter.
Yeah, I mean, SC actually is a very good three-point shooting team.
15.3 seconds left, and you're not going to want to miss this game coming up next. Stanford against Oregon State. Tara Vanderveer goes for a win to become the winningest coach of all time. And Charlie, you're in this environment this weekend here in Boulder. 8,474 on hand today. It was a sold-out crowd Friday night, 11,000. You're talking over 19,000 fans have come to watch this women's basketball team.
It's just crazy. It's fantastic here in Boulder, but across the conference.
Absolutely.
And I thought we were going to queue up on Tara. Kind of fun. I mean, she's just become iconic. You know, you have Cher, you have Madonna,
and you have Tara.
You have Beyonce.
Love that. You got to play for
and
her.
now you have Tara.
Coached against her.
Yep.
What will this win mean to you?
Wait, I'm not done. I'm not done.
Oh, okay, good.
And then we have Tina, who's
yeah.
simply the best, and that's Tara. I mean, she's incredible. I just had to get that in. So they added 0.6 on the clock. The officials just wanted to make sure they got the time right. Here, obviously, SC going to be an all-out pressure. And you just got to get the ball in, not turtle it, keep it tight. And great job using the whole court to inbound it.
And now Quay, Sherrod, Quay got in. Sherrod tried to run away, but does get fouled.
And, you know, technically, that push in the back, you know, I mean, I don't think it was, usually they're just going to call a common foul on that.
13.5 on the clock. Sherrod at the line, 16 points today for Jalen Sherrod. Quay Miller leads the Buffs with 19. They've gotten 2 huge performances from their graduate seniors and leaders.
Such a great roster that Lindsay Gottlieb put together. She's got the best player, incoming player in the nation, Rhea Marshall, and then 3 fifth-year Ivy League grads. So got the second one, 2-point game. I'll be surprised if CU stays in their zone now that it's a 1-possession game and a 3 can beat you. So we'll have to see. I have seen them in this situation in the U of A game, but U of A is not probably as good a 3-point shooting team. I mean, you've got Bigby, you've got Forbes, you've got Padilla out there, all excellent 3-point shooters. I think they man up and just play, switch all the screens, position defense without fouling. You know, even a 2 doesn't beat you. So just be smart, take away the 3s, make sure you're not fouling.
Southern California has made 7 threes today, 7 for 20 though.
It's about, you know, a little over 33%. That's a good percentage. They're actually second in the conference in 3-point percentage. So, but sometimes when Colorado goes to that zone, they don't care. I mean, it's so disruptive. They got their share of steals and stops with it. But I look for them to come out and man here.
61-59, back and forth affair. It has been fun here. We've seen 5 different lead changes. The game's been tied for over 7 minutes and 30 seconds of the game. A nail biter, just as you would expect. The 3rd consecutive game where the Buffs are hosting a top 10 matchup.
And I wasn't sure, sorry Jenny, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I wasn't sure if they were going to leave Von Lay in, you know, just with the switching out and everything, but she's in the game. JR really trusts her.
Kendall Wetta on Forbes. Forbes is going to drive, pull back out, 6 on the shot clock. She muscles all the way in and can't tie the game. Erinette Von Lay has the ball and a whistle with 1.2 to go.
Wow. That was a great look. Mackenzie Forbes wants the ball in that situation, especially with Juju out. She's strong to her right hand, just rimmed out. Great rebound by Von Lay. And there you go. She's in the game to rebound.
There it is. There's the reason. She'll be at the line now. See if she can pull a little separation with 1.2 on the clock. 3-point lead. Erinette Von Lay's had a quieter weekend in terms of points per game. 10 points against UCLA, 8 points here. But expect big things for her and big things for both these squads. The Buffs, though, come out victorious and complete USC's mountain sweep. SC will go home winless in the Mountain Time Zone, and the Buffs will head out on the road, a very confident team, 6-1 in the Pac-12. Wow.
And right here, just shoots the gap, great, gets a really clean look, and just rims out. Great rebound, way to finish out the game for CU. Little lucky, because that was a really good look.
Got a lucky bounce indeed.
And this is where you just...
The Buffs coming out with a big win. They split the weekend 1-1, losing UCLA on Friday night.